Unfortunately, I had confirmed some engagements outside of the country before now. So unfortunately, I'm not able to join. I regret that. And mine is to simply just 2-3 quick points. The first is to say a very happy birthday to you, elder brother and senior mentor. For this, happy 68th birthday. Yours has been 68 years of, how else to describe it, impactful life. Impactful life that has crisscrossed the car like a colossus around the country. And that you have been evolved. And I'm very excited because of this, the way you've chosen also to celebrate this 68th birthday presentation of this book. Because you've not just spoken, gone around the country speaking about the issues and the problems and the way to go, proffering solutions, but very importantly, and I think you've led very great examples, articulating these thoughts and proposals and ideas in book form, and keep getting involved. Participation is the key. Participation. And I do urge everyone who has something to offer, intellectually, by way of activism, by way of, in whatever form, just to get involved, or you stop complaining. Because no nation, every country is a work in progress. Every society, development is a process. You never get to the end of it. But there must be constant contestations by the citizens, by various interest groups, and so on and so forth, towards a better society. And the life that you have lived, Professor Tommy, is an exemplary one, and which I recommend to all those of us who have been in public service. I have about 11 titles I've been battling with to complete writing, but someday maybe we'll get this done. And for this, the book, unfortunately, I'm not able to participate in the panel, but I look forward to being able to pick at least 200, 250 copies of this. That will be my Easter gifts this period. This one, together with the one by our friend Osito Obu, maybe we'll put them in parts and circulate rather than hampers. We circulate these books. That is if people still read. Because unfortunately, we're getting a new culture where people don't even open books to read. But I want to believe that it will be quite very thoughtful. I haven't had a chance to peruse through that, but I look forward to reading a copy myself. But just listening, just a quick footnote, listening to Professor Lewis and then, of course, the ever quintessential cerebral Bishop Cooker, the nuggets that I could pick from those. I think the point made by Bishop Cooker is very apt. Enough of the book of Lamentations. Maybe it's now time to look at the glass half full, because all the time we're talking about what is wrong and the catalog of it. If you're a decision maker, after all the ills and so on, gloom and doom, where do we go from here? That's what a policymaker is asking for. In specific terms, what should I do? If you've got 2 minutes in front of a policymaker, he wants to know, in specific terms, what do I do to remedy this? And I think it's a big topic, very huge one, the title of the book that you have written. I remember the one when I saw the title of this, I just came up with the one that I co-edited with Paul Collier, Robert Bates, and so on, The Political Economy of Growth in Africa. For many decades, published in 2008. And I could see several of the themes coming up. But our fundamental challenge is really how we leapfrog, listening to Professor Lewis, how do we leapfrog from this predominantly transactional politics and governance into one that is transformational? And I think every society is in that spectrum at some point or the other, where they are, and the foundations that you need to have in place for this to happen. And for me, quite frankly, two key words that will help to connect the dots. Well, leadership is the obvious one. Everybody talks about leadership, whatever anyone means by that. But a key one that is missing, often not paid enough attention to, is institutions. Institutions. In Nigeria, most often we refer to structure, as it were. Because no matter how skilled Lionel Messi is as a footballer, if you take him and put him not in a regular, normal football field, but you put him in a cassava farm as a field, his skills will completely disappear. And so we need to pay a lot of attention to the institutions. I applied for this job because I believe, having served at the federal level, various institutions, the federal level, Chief Economic Advisor, Head of National Planning, Governor of Central Bank, and, crisscrossing Abuja, I've come to a conclusion, very important one, that yes, we need an effective central government, but perhaps we need to get back again from below, bottom up. We need to fix the subnationals, as it were. But then the overarching institutional framework, which is the Constitution of Nigeria, requires a fundamental review. Unitary federalism that we are running, where we think we can run Nigeria, everything Nigeria from Abuja, it's simply not going to work, no matter how we try. Tech security, which Professor Lewis did at Dumbread. To think that the 71 or so thousand policemen controlled from Abuja will police the 225 million Nigerians out there, and the federal government is not even in a position to fund that, as it were. And we're still debating whether to have state police or that, and so on and so forth. It's not going to work. Take the rule of law. Security, if you don't have security, law and order, and you think is a judiciary that is so centralized that everything ends up in the Supreme Court, that if somebody steals a goat in one village, they can litigate that matter and it will end at the Supreme Court and take 20 years or 35 years to settle. Somebody comes to buy land in Nigeria and a foreign investor and is encumbered. They go to court. It must end at the Supreme Court. And so you have 20-something, 30-something thousand cases there at the Supreme Court with how many justices to deal with. There are fundamental issues about, and you want speedy dispensation of justice, rule of law, and so on and so forth. So we have quite a huge work to do about the super action institution. Of course, leadership is key, ultimately. We've seen that with America, that no matter the strength of the interaction between leadership and the institutions, when Trump tried to overturn the election, he would have succeeded if Mike Pence, if they didn't have strong institutions to resist him. And then the leadership by Mike Pence, for example, who refused to do his bidding. Otherwise, he would have succeeded. So, institutions are foundational to the progress of any society. As Semogolo and all the books that we have in institution. But we also need good leaders who will even enforce them. As we've seen in the case of the Central Bank of Nigeria, who had excellent laws. We needed, the Supreme Court had to rise up, to stop the currency confiscation agenda, which was illegal. I superintended the 2007 Central Bank Act. I knew that was illegal, the currency confiscation that was ongoing under the name of currency exchange. The Supreme Court had to, and with the debilitating disastrous consequences for the macroeconomy, or the central bank going on beyond its legal remit in continuously printing money, 20-something trillion, backed by nothing. And today we are faced with all the massive inflation, depreciation of the exchange rate, and so on and so forth. The law said they couldn't do that. The law forbade that, but they did that. but there was no restraining institution. So you have this interaction between leadership and institutions. But I think we need to pay attention to both. Leadership matters, but also institutions, 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 and noble leaders to ensure the enforcement of the legal and institutional framework in terms of execution. I can go on. I mean, I feel very passionate about this subject, but I know we haven't got all the time. But I wish you the very best of luck, my dear brother and mentor. I keep following every right and every pronouncement that you make. And my prayer, and this your birthday, is that God will continue to give you health and long life. And pray God Almighty to give us more millions more of fat autonomies in Nigeria. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
For updates.